Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you a really fancy way to produce a card from a one-handed fan. Now this move is called the Instant Appearance by a guy named Ken Krenzel out of his book The Card Classics of Ken Krenzel. And this book was written in 1978 and in my opinion it was written way ahead of its time because there's a ton of gold in it, a ton of awesome material that you've probably never seen or heard of, and in fact I'll leave a link down below to where you can pick that up if you'd like. Alright, so before we get into the move itself, we should talk about the control and the reverse, because what you need to do is control the selection to the bottom and have it reversed. Now I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do that, and these are probably the easiest and the most efficient. Alright, so to control the card at the bottom, you can use what's known as the spread cull. So you spread the deck, have a selection made, in this case the two of spades, and then you will turn it face down like this. And in the action, or in the gesturing, of saying you could affect any card, you can control it to the bottom with that spread cull. Alright, so the way that works is you have a selection made from a spread, and then in this case it's the 9 of clubs, and you'll turn it face down. Now in the action of bringing the house back together and gesturing you could have picked any card, you will cull the card at this moment. So what's happening is you will completely cover the selection in the side jog position with the bottom card of this spread. Okay, so you come over, cover that card, kind of like a double at this point, and then move this thumb back. So essentially, you're keeping that card still and then moving that thumb back, okay? So under cover of the spread, you can't really see what's happening. Alright, so what's going to happen is you will straighten out these fingers, thus further side jogging that card. And then you can pull these fingers inward if you need to get that even further. But in the action of spreading, you can't see anything. And what's going to happen is the card's going to write down all the way to the bottom. Alright, so once again, from a more exposed view, you show the card, 3 of hearts. Then as you come back, you cover the card, and then you just pull that selection out, further pulling it with these fingers, and the card just rides to the bottom. So to reverse the card, you spread the deck, show the card, do the control, that's about halfway down, and then don't completely close the deck up because you want it in a messed up condition to hide the reverse a little bit better. Alright, so what's going to happen is that card is still a little bit side jogged from the rest of the pack, as you can see that, and then as you come over with your hand above, these fingers just do this with the card. I'll move the deck so you can see it a little bit better. This is all that's happening. Alright, you just move the fingers up towards the palm, and that that reverses the card. Yeah, it's that easy. So once again in slow motion, you're in this position, the deck is in a messed up condition, and the card is sort of in a side jogged state on the bottom there. As your hand comes down, you square the deck up, and that card will sort of naturally pop off a little bit by applying the pressure on the side, okay? Which gives you a nice purchase on the card. You can sort of lift the deck up a little bit if you need to, and then just move the fingers inward like that, and you have your reverse made. But of course from above, you can't see that at all. Just like that, in the action of squaring the deck up, it's completely hidden. Alright, so another way you can get a card reversed on the bottom is with Steranko's Shadow Reverse. And what that is you dribble the cards for a selection. Alright, so you dribble about halfway down and then show a card, in this case the King of Clubs, and then as you turn it down, you're going to bring this packet back down in the action of essentially doing a Cardini change like this. Alright, so as you come back down, this hides everything as you do that move, okay? So when you put the packet back on, you essentially just revolve that card to the bottom in the action of doing the all-around square up, okay? So a card is selected, got the 5 of spades, and then you sort of just do this as the card comes up, and then in the action of the all-around square up, that card gets squared on the bottom, reversed. Alright, so at full speed, you got the card, the 10 of clubs, that's about halfway down, and then it's reversed on the bottom. Or you don't have to do it, but you can appear to mix the deck up by cutting it and still maintain the card on the bottom. And here's how. You lift up maybe 2/3 of the deck like this, leaving the bottom portion in your hand, and just start cutting cards on top of it, and it gives the illusion that the deck is getting mixed up. Alright, so once you're here and the card is face up on the bottom, you want to bevel the deck towards you, alright? And then lift up about half and execute the one-handed fan. Now I'll remove this portion so we can get a closer look at what's happening there. So what you're essentially doing is Do-Tel's card rise, and that happens by taking your index finger and pulling down on that card. Okay, this is easy due to the bevel and the fact that the card's face up, so it sort of creates a little gap there. Okay, so you're going to, with your index finger, pull this card back like this. Okay, so you can see that card pulling back, and then that card is just going to pivot out face up around your thumb like that. But the card rise is done slow, but in this case you want to do it in a quick jerking motion for the production. So it looks something like that. Okay. So with the help of the fan, you're essentially going to just pop the card out and catch it between the fan and your hand there on the base of your thumb, just like that. So you pop the card off and just catch it in between the fan and your hand there, and then you just pull it away and then close there, and then the trick is done. So one more time at slow speed, you get the bevel and you take about half the deck, execute the one-handed fan, pull back, and then a quick down jerking motion is what I find looks the best, because you want to quickly catch it right there, just like that. And then once you're here, you can take your index finger and just move away, and then you're just holding the card with your finger there. All right, and then you can just close it however you want to, and then you look like a badass. I should mention that the way it was originally written up in the book is that the card was controlled to the top of the deck, and then you would turn the deck face up and do a one-handed fan face up, and the card would appear there out of the fan. But since I'm left-handed, it doesn't really look that good because you can't see any of the cards. So I just improvised and came up with this way to do it face up from the face down fan. Alright, so that's the move. Now at first it's going to be pretty difficult to get down with the whole catching of the card on the hand. But don't give up on it. I know you can do it. So hey, if you like what I'm doing here with these videos, hit subscribe and I can keep making them for you. And in the meantime, happy practicing.